to interrupt your news stations on WMVS. This is a national emergency. Important instructions will follow. The following message has been transmitted by request from the Weyauwega Fire Department. At 5:50 a.m. Central Daylight Time, multiple 911 calls poured in the hotline of a train derailment in Weyauwega, Wisconsin. A freight train carrying propane gas has ignited a fireball near the depot. At this time, a mandatory evacuation has been placed for residents along the lines from Weyauwega to Stevens Point, Wisconsin. Tune to WMVS on your news stations for further info on this dangerously developing story. Civil danger warning in effect for Weyauwega until further notice. The following message has been transmitted by request from the Weyauwega Fire Department. At 6:15 a.m. Central Daylight Time, boiling liquid evaporated vapor explosions have occurred near the Wisconsin State Emergency Management Building. All offices are shut down until further notice. All fire rescue personnel are advised to undergo a mandatory evacuation and lockdown of the same area until further notice. Programming is standstill until the fires die down. Stay tuned for further updates. Urgent bulletin. It was confirmed 3 hours ago that 35 of the 81 freight cars have been either derailed or completely destroyed in the wreck. As a critical precaution, propane from the tankers have started leaking heavily. The National Guard has been issued to be put in a shelter-in-place warning until the fires have died down completely. Repeating again, the National Guard is en route to mandatorily evacuate the area. Programming has been discontinued for the duration of this message. Stay tuned for further updates. We interrupt your news stations on WMVS serving the Milwaukee area. This is an emergency update to the train wreck at Weyauwega, Wisconsin. Animal shelters are now in place for any pets that were left behind during the mandatory evacuation. The NTSB will begin an investigation when given full permission to re-enter the area. Also, the explosion has fully disconnected the 911 systems throughout Weyauwega. If you are needing critical medical attention, dial 0 of your phone for your operator. Stay tuned for further updates. The fire rescue personnel who were all evacuated hours ago are now authorized to re-enter the area to extinguish the fires set by the derailment. But as a serious precaution, more propane tankers are still leaking heavily. It is advised that all aerial fire tankers are completely off limits pending further instructions. The tankers will be drained out and have an IED, which is an insensitive explosive device, to burn off the remainder of the fuel. All shelter-in-place warnings will be in use for the next 2 weeks. Food, water, and medical supplies will be available for your 2 weeks in the shelter. Stay tuned for further updates. The NTSB has reported that a broken rail and broken switch joint were the culprits in this derailment. Again, this is not yet confirmed. It is still not safe to leave your shelters for the time being. Doing so will put you and your families in extreme danger due to third-degree burns and smoke inhalation. The insensitive explosive device has been planted in the train wreck. Until all the unturned fuel is burned off, all fire rescue personnel, including aerial tankers, are forbidden to enter the area. Only news choppers have authorization to yield the dangers of this wreck, and must be 1,000 feet away from the crash site. Stay tuned for further updates. Attention. Attention. This is a breaking news update for this developing story only on WMVS. The NTSB has confirmed the suspicions. The broken rail and switch joints were indeed responsible for this derailment. 7 fire rescue personnel were critically injured from being blown off the ladders earlier. Thankfully, there were no reports of any deaths. Again, nobody was killed in the wreck, but 7 fire rescue personnel are being sent to area hospitals for 3rd and 4th degree burns. An all clear has not yet been given to anyone in the shelter, so stay calm. Stay tuned for further updates. We interrupt your news programming on WMVS. This is an emergency update. This message has been transmitted by request of the Federal Emergency Management Agency and the Army National Guard. This is not a test. An all clear has been given to anyone in the shelter. It is now safe to return to your homes. All fires have been put out, remainder of the wreck being sold for scrap. Repeating again, an all clear has been given. Thank you for your cooperation during this emergency. We will now return to WMVS for normal programming.